Getting to Miquella's Haligtree was an absolute mission the first time I'd done it, so I've thrown together this easy to follow guide which will cover getting both halves of the Haligtree Secret Medallion, as well as covering Latenna's Questline and how to complete the Ordina Town Puzzle in the Consecrated Snowfileds, with some helpful tips along the way. If you find this video helpful, maybe throw a like on it, and I'll try and remember to put some timestamps in the video description. Anyway, let's get into it. Starting in Leyndell of the Lakes, you want to make your way west on the map until you find yourself here at the Folly on the Lake Site of Grace. Follow these markers I've put down and you'll end up at the village of the Ordina Site of Grace. Head southwest on the map, avoiding the crabs in one of Miyazaki's muggy swamps, swing a right up the hill and grab the village of the Ordina Site of Grace. Head up the hill from the Grace Point and take out the perfumer, otherwise he ain't going to leave you alone. And just up here, you'll see a big pot. Give it a slap and an old boy will appear who's been on the fags too much. Exhaust his dialogue and he'll give you the right side of the Haligtree Secret Medallion, and he'll tell you a little bit about Latenna, who's going to hold a little bit more information about the left side of the Haligtree Medallion. You can then also begin her quest, and it's alright because it's pretty short. Quick side note, once you've retrieved the right side from the old boy, Skeletor is going to invade you with the round table hold next time you visit. Just give him a slap and you'll get his armour set and his weapon. Right, to find Latenna, make your way to the Lascar Ruins Site of Grace and then head west to a small cave which will lead you to the Lakeside Crystal Cave Site of Grace. Explore the cave at your own leisure, and then when you finally reach the bottom, there's going to be a Bloodhound Knight waiting for you. Take him out, and whilst you're exiting the cave, you'll see Latenna to the left with her little wolf Lobo. Start having a chinwag with Latenna until you see the option Show the Secret Medallion, exhaust her dialogue again and then select Hear Her Request. She's then going to tell us about the whereabouts of the second half of the Haligtree Secret Medallion at Castle Sol in the mountaintops of the Giants. As she leaves, she's going to drop us the Latenna Ordina Spirit Ashes, which are going to come into play later on.
Call upon me when needed.
As a brief overview on how to get to the mountaintops of the Giants, first you're going to have to reach Leyndell Royal Capital. To do this, you'll need both halves of the Dectus Medallion. One could be found in Fort Height in Mistwood at the top of the tower, and the second is in Fort Farrath. Just run past the manky pigeons, make your way, and it's at the top of the ladder in a chest. You've also got to require 2 great runes to enter the capital. I recommend Godric and Renala, as they're the easiest ones and they are in the natural progression of the game. Head to the Grand Lift of Dectus, making your way to the Atlas Plateau. Progress your way through the area and explore the map, and you need to get to the front door of the capital. You've got to wipe out the Tree Sentinel and eventually gain entry, and you'll get yourself the Capital Rampart Site of Grace. You'll then find Godfrey the Golden Nugget and the main area boss Morgott. Once you've defeated Morgott and listened to his waffle, return to the Grace where Melina will appear.
Hello again, old friend.
She'll eventually give you the Rolled Medallion after exhausting her dialogue, and this is going to serve 2 purposes in this video, the first being getting to the mountaintops of the Giants. To reach the mountaintops of the Giants, head back to the Avenue Balcony Site of Grace and swing a left and open these big giant doors. Continue forwards up the stairs until you find a lift. And then when you get to the top, you want to head in a straight line to another lift that's going to take you down to the Forbidden Lands. From the Forbidden Lands Site of Grace, just keep heading towards the red marker on your map, but you want to watch out for the Black Blade swan diving you on your way to the lift entrance. Just quickly grab the Grace and rest, and then you can make your way to the Grand Lift of Rold and enter the mountaintops of the Giants. Continue your progression and exploration through this area of the map, and you'll eventually find yourself at Castle Sol in the northeast. Once you've made your way through and find yourself at the Church of the Eclipse Site of Grace, you can activate a cheeky little shortcut so you don't have to deal with these Muppets all the time. Follow the route I'm taking, and when you get to the second set of wooden stairs here, activate the lift to the left of the boss area. You can now turn right at the Site of Grace and sneak behind the Banished Knight, then sprint and hop over this wall and go back up the lift undetected. Just don't forget to activate the lift to go back down just in case you need to repeat the process. Niall is quite a tricky boss, but a good couple of tactics. Take out his 2 knights first and then concentrate on him. If the knights are still giving you a bit of a tough time, you can get some bewitching branches from the merchant underneath the Bellum Church. Use it on one of the knights and they'll fight each other and have a little bit of a go at Niall as well. Once you finally manage to beat Niall, you can now head up the stairs to the lift and grab the last piece of the Haligtree Secret Medallion by one of Miquella's Casper friends on the floor. Now we've obtained both halves of the Secret Medallion, we can now head back to the Grand Lift of Road, but this time you'll notice there's another action. Select Hoist the Secret Medallion and you will now enter the hidden path of the Haligtree. I have covered this area in another video and there's some proper sick items in here which include the Silver Scarab Talisman, but I'll leave a link in the description if you are interested in checking that out. When you enter through the wooden doors, swing a left up the stairs and there'll be a few of those little muggy pixies dotted about. Keep heading forwards and as you see that opening, a giant octopus is going to drop. Sway to the side of it, avoiding even more pixies, and on your right you'll have yourself the hidden path to the Haligtree Site of Grace. Now comes a fun bit. There is literally no visibility at all for this first bit, so I've placed some markers for you to make it a bit easier. The first marker is the first Site of Grace you'll encounter, and the next one is the second Grace point, which is the inner Consecrated Snowfield, and the third being the map fragment where you'll actually start being able to see stuff in front of you. Essentially, if you just head north on the map, you'll be absolutely fine, but you are going to need to dodge a few enemies along the way and a couple of Latennas which we'll get onto in a second. Once you've grabbed the map, you want to head to this location, which is going to be Ordina Liturgical Town, where we can grab the Site of Grace and have a rest after dodging all of the Latennas. To continue and essentially end Latenna's quest, you need to head to this point on the map. Head northwest and as you get near the church, try your best to avoid the missiles coming out of the big walk-in bell end and find yourself at the apostate derelict Site of Grace. Once rested, head to the back of the church and you'll find a massive Latenna and you can grab yourself the silver mirror shield on arrival. Once you've done that, you'll be prompted to summon the spirit ass that Latenna gave you earlier and then she's going to appear. Just run her dialogue and you'll be treated to a sombre ancient dragon smithing stone for your efforts. Now that's done, back to Ordina. Now this is probably the most frustrating part, the Ordina Liturgical Town Puzzle. There are a couple of items you can get to make your life easier. The first is at the back of the town itself. Jump on Torrent and head northwest around the back, follow it all the way around and under this little underpass you can grab yourself the Black Knife armour set, which 1, looks sick and 2, will silence your footsteps around enemies. This is going to come in well handy. The next item is back in Atlas Plateau. So head over to the Hermit Merchant's Shack Site of Grace and you'll be able to acquire the Sentry Torch for 7,000 runes. This torch enables you to see hidden enemies like the ones we're about to encounter, the Black Knife mugs. Head back to Ordina and get naked, then equip all of the Black Knife drip for the sneaky and also grab the Sentry Torch. The good thing about this torch is you don't need to have it in your hand, so you can chuck it on your back and it does the same job. I'd also chuck on any defensive talismans you have, like the Ritual Shield Talisman, and even throw in the Opaline Hard Tier into your Physic Flask as well. Now we're all fashioned up, we can head over to the Everjail. When you arrive, there's going to be a little message on the imp statue telling you to light the 4 figures, and I'm going to try and show you one of the most efficient ways to do this. As you enter the Everjail, turn right and jump over the ledge until you see a ladder. Climbing the ladder is going to take you to the first statue. Quick note, don't panic if you die during this, as the statues you light do not need to be redone. You can just carry on from the last one you activated. As you come down the ladder, we're going to peer around to the right and just below there's going to be a Black Knife assassin. Roll off the rooftop a little bit better than I did, and as the Black Knife tries to grab us, hop onto the ledge and then by the wall, jump around this section of the wall to the next ladder. As you climb up, you'll be away from the first Black Knife as they can't climb ladders because they seem a bit stupid, but this is going to take you to the second statue. This part is probably the most tricky and where I die most of the time. There's going to be 2 Latennas firing arrows at you as soon as you start the rooftops. This is where those defensive buffs and talismans are going to help out. Just follow this route I take, and whilst attempting to dodge as many arrows as you can, once you make it across, take out this Latenna as quick as you can and you'll be hidden from the other one for now. Slap her silly and head up this ladder for statue number 3. For the final statue, move round to the side again and you'll see another muggy Latenna. Take her out, and if you fall like I have, just kill her and make your way round to the stairs and another Black Knife Tish will be waiting. Roll the attacks and the final statue is right here. Once it's lit, it's only going to be a few seconds before you'll be returned to Ordina Town and bosh, portal unlocked. Thank for that. Stick your chosen drip back on and head up these stairs and finally through the portal and you've made it to Miquella's Haligtree. If you found this helpful, maybe chuck a little like on it and a cheeky sub so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming Elden Ring content. See you in the next one. Cheers, mate.